than to truly hear from some of those that have been impacted the most by the house. So I've got some notes here. I'm going to look at them. I had a bunch of notes tonight, but most of you all know me. I never use the notes. I just start talking and I just go for it. But I want to make sure I get this really right, because as much as we all do, we always say that while it's the love within all of us, and this is the house that love built, we always say, we hope we never have to really leverage the houses in the way that many have to leverage the houses. But when people do, they're the ones who really understand whether or not we're on our P's and Q's and we're doing the right thing. And what better way to understand the true impact than to hear it from someone in a family who's experienced it. It's my privilege to introduce tonight the Dobler family. Betsey and Dan, and also Karis, who might be asleep when she comes out here, but you'll know who Karis is real quick. And also their son, Josiah. Josiah was born with several medical issues, and for the first 7 months of his life, the Doblers stayed at the Ronald McDonald House that used to be located near Children's Memorial Hospital. Now, we know that in a new location, new hospital, the Ann and Robert A. Shorey Children's Hospital of Chicago. Because of Josiah's unique condition, the Doblers have had to seek out specialized care. Not only here, but at hospitals in Minneapolis. They need the care and the expertise of hospitals like the University of Chicago Children's Hospital. So they've been in hospitals, not just here, but throughout the U.S. And in all, the Doblers have spent more than 250 nights at Ronald McDonald houses in Chicago and Minneapolis. They couldn't be more grateful for their comfort, for the compassion, and the sense of community that they've received from the house and the staff. We couldn't be more thankful than to be able to help them out in their time of need, and to know that we made, as Fred Turner always told us, we made a difference. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you all to please join me in welcoming Betsey, Dan, Karis, and Josiah.
We are so excited to be here this evening, so thank you for having us. Ronald McDonald House has been our home away from home since our son Josiah was born 7 years ago. Moments after we met our little Josiah, he was transferred to Children's Memorial Hospital because he had several complex medical issues that would require numerous surgeries to correct. My husband Dan spent the first 4 days of Josiah's life traveling back and forth between the hospital where I was recovering and Children's Memorial, where Josiah was receiving care. On the day after I was discharged, we were preparing to get ready to go down to Children's to see Josiah. And as we were leaving, we received a call from a Ronald McDonald House volunteer who asked if we would like a room that one was available for us. And so, of course, we were. And so I packed this small bag of essentials and walked out the door of our house and had no idea that I wouldn't be returning to sleep there for another 7 months. Because we were able to stay at the house, we could more fully focus on Josiah. We didn't have to fight traffic every day to get to the hospital. We didn't have to concern ourselves with what to make for dinner. The house managers were caring and sensitive. And more importantly, we were living in a unique community of families who were also walking a road similar to ours with a seriously ill child. One of my most vivid memories from our 9-week stay at Ronald McDonald House in Lincoln Park is a conversation I had with another parent that I met there. Her name is Nicole. We were sitting in the dining room area late one night, and I was exhausted, confused, angry, and scared. Nicole listened to me as I shared my hurt and asked those questions that really have no answers. She sat with me in my mess, and she didn't offer any advice. But the gift of her presence and her listening ear were just what I needed in that moment. When Josiah was 4 months old, he was discharged from the hospital for the first time. We were at the University of Minnesota Children's Hospital by then, and so he came home to the Ronald McDonald House, which at that point was our home. We celebrated our first Christmas as a family of 3 at the house with more gifts, delicious food, and Christmas cheer than you can imagine. When Josiah was 7 months old, he came home with us for the first time. And even though the Ronald McDonald houses are wonderful and fantastic, I'm sure you can imagine how happy we were to all be under the same roof and sleeping in our own beds. Because of Josiah's unique medical issues, he has continued to need care at other hospitals that serve children, including Comer's Hospital. Josiah was 5 when we stayed at the RMH near Comer. The night before his surgery, he, Dan, and I snuggled on a couch in one of the beautiful lounges right by our room, watched a movie together. All was good. We were together, we were comfortable, we were relaxed, and we were able to have this time of connection before a long day of surgery and all the ups and downs that come with a week in the hospital. What a gift it is for a little boy or a little girl to just be a kid when he or she is faced with a hospitalization, a surgery, or a difficult medical procedure. Altogether, like they said, my family has spent almost 250 days at 4 different Ronald McDonald houses in the Midwest. And I can't overstate how significant the gift of community at the Ronald McDonald House was and continues to be to us. It is such a blessing to know that you aren't alone and that there are other people in your midst that understand your experience. I am sure that tonight there are families sharing stories together at the new house by Lurie Children's Hospital, that there are others encouraging one another at the house by Loyola, that families are sharing shoulders to lean on at the Comer House, and still more are celebrating small victories at the house near Advocate Children's. When the new Ronald McDonald House near Cadence Health CDH campus opens, even more families in need of support will be able to find the comfort, healing, and hope that we have found. On behalf of my family and the families who stay at each of the Ronald McDonald houses throughout Chicago, thank you for being here this evening. Please know that whatever you give tonight, or whatever role you play in the future, it will be benefiting these families and children, just as it has benefited ours. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have a toast now to our family, so I'd ask the wait staff if we could go ahead and begin to pour that. I'd like to ask one other very, very special person to come up.